Imagine a bustling market in Galkayo, Somalia on a warm February evening in 2019. The air hums with vendors calling out, children darting through stalls, and the chatter of daily life. Among them is Aisha Ilyas Aden, a 12-year-old girl sent on a simple errand to buy groceries for her mother. Aisha was a familiar face in the market, her bright smile known to shopkeepers. She's in 6th grade, loves school, and dreams of becoming a teacher. But on February 24, 2019, she doesn't come home. The next morning, her body is found 200 meters from her house, discarded like trash. The brutality of what happened to her would shake Somalia to its core. Aisha was gang-raped, tortured, mutilated, and strangled. According to SIH Network, the post-mortem report detailed unimaginable violence. Severe injuries to her genitals, plastic bags stuffed in her body, and marks of strangulation around her neck. The scene was so horrific that locals who found her, as reported by VOA, could barely speak of it. Can you picture the weight of that discovery? A child full of life hours earlier, now reduced to a symbol of cruelty. This wasn't just a crime. It was an assault on innocence itself. Aisha was small, barely 4'8", with a love for reading, as noted in a UNFPA report. She lived in Galkayo, a city split between Puntland and Galmudug, where clan tensions and violence were common, but her world was simpler. School, friends, helping her mother. She wasn't rich or prominent, just a girl navigating a tough place. Her routine was predictable: school in the morning, errands in the evening. On February 24th, she left for the market at 5:30 p.m., wearing a blue headscarf, as described by a shopkeeper in Garowe Online. She never made it back. The perpetrators were 3 men: Abdifata Abdirrahman Warsames, 24, Abdisalam Abdirrahman Warsames, age unknown, and Abdishakur Mohammadige, 46. According to Horst Media, they were local men, not strangers to Galkayo's streets. Abdifata and Abdisalam were brothers, known for petty crimes but never anything this severe. Abdishakur, older and unrelated, had a reputation for aggression, per Somaliland standards. Together they targeted Aisha, though why remains unclear. What drove them to such violence? According to The Elephant, gender-based violence in Somalia often stems from a culture where women are seen as lesser, but this case was extreme, even by those standards. The brutality was methodical. According to VOA, Aisha was abducted from the market, likely lured or forced into a secluded area. The post-mortem, cited by Garowe Online, showed she was alive during the assault, enduring hours of torment before being strangled. Her body was left near her home, a deliberate act that added to the horror. The plastic bags, as detailed in SIH's report, were used to degrade her further, a detail that stunned investigators. This wasn't a crime of impulse. It was planned, executed, and discarded with chilling precision. Aisha's life was ordinary but vibrant. She was a student who carried her books proudly, as noted in Medium. She wasn't involved in clan disputes or politics. Just a child caught in a moment of vulnerability. The market was her playground, a place she knew well, yet it became her undoing. According to UNFPA, her death highlighted the dangers girls face in Somalia, where public spaces aren't always safe. The 3 men didn't act alone in the sense of opportunity. Galkayo's lawlessness gave them cover. According to HRW, the city's weak policing allowed crimes against women to flourish. Abdifata, the youngest, later confessed to the rape but denied the murder, per RE News. Abdisalam and Abdishakur showed no remorse, according to court reports in Somaliland Standard. Their actions left a scar on Galkayo, a city already fractured by conflict. How does a community process such a loss? The brutality wasn't just physical. It was a message of power, of disregard for a girl's life. According to SIHA, the mutilation was intended to shock, to silence any who might speak out. Yet Aisha's death did the opposite. It ignited a fire. Her body, found at dawn on February 25th, became a rallying point. Though we'll explore that later. For now, picture her, a 12-year-old, her blue headscarf tangled in the dirt, her dreams snuffed out in hours. According to VOA, Aisha's murder wasn't just a crime. It was a mirror held up to a society where girls like her face unimaginable risks, forcing us to ask what it takes to protect them. The hook lies in the contrast. A child's routine errand turned into a nightmare. According to Garo Online, the market was crowded, yet no one saw her taken. The brutality, rape, torture, mutilation, strangulation marks this case as one of Somalia's most shocking. 3 men, not monsters from afar, but locals, chose to destroy a girl's life. Aisha's story demands we look closer, not away. The discovery of Aisha Ilyas Aden's body at dawn on February 25, 2019, triggered an immediate response from local authorities in Galkayo. Puntland police arrived at the scene by 7:15 a.m., securing a 100-meter perimeter around the location where the body lay, 200 meters from her home. Officers from the Galkayo Criminal Investigation Department, CID, took charge, photographing the area and collecting initial statements from residents who had gathered. The first officer on site noted the body's position, face down, clothing disheveled, and called for forensic support from Garo, Puntland's capital. As reported by Somaliland Standard, by 9:00 a.m., a medical team conducted an on-site examination. According to VOA, they confirmed death by strangulation and collected surface samples for later analysis. The body was transported to Galkayo General Hospital for a full post-mortem, arriving at 10:30 a.m. The pathologist, supported by UNFPA forensic experts, began the autopsy at 11:45 a.m., documenting injuries and preserving evidence. Samples were sealed and sent to a lab in Garowe, a process that took 2 days due to limited local facilities, as detailed in Horst Media. Police launched door-to-door inquiries that afternoon. CID teams interviewed 50 households within a 500-meter radius, focusing on the market route Aisha took. A shopkeeper provided the first lead. He recalled seeing Aisha at 5:45 p.m. on February 24, speaking briefly with a group of young men near a tea stall. This statement, logged at 2:30 p.m., narrowed the timeline. Officers revisited the market, collecting statements from 20 vendors by evening. One described a white Toyota Corolla circling the area, noted in the case file as a potential vehicle of interest. On February 26, forensic results arrived from Garowe, according to Somaliland Standard. The post-mortem confirmed multiple assailants through varied injury patterns and DNA traces. Puntland police, with UNFPA support, established a DNA database for the first time in a local case, swabbing 150 men in Galkayo aged 1850. The process began at 8:00 a.m., prioritizing those with prior records. By March 1, 10 suspects were detained based on witness descriptions and vehicle sightings. The breakthrough came on March 5. DNA from the samples matched 3 individuals, confessed to participation in the rape during questioning at 3:00 p.m., providing details that aligned with the post-mortem. His statement, recorded on video, led to the arrest of his brother Abdisalam at 6:30 p.m. and Abdishakur at 9:00 p.m. in separate raids. Police seized clothing and a knife from Abdishakur's home, logged as evidence. Interrogations ran through March 6-8. According to Garowe Online, each suspect was questioned separately for 6 hours daily, with Abdifta maintaining he did not strangle Aisha, while the others denied involvement. Forensic re-examination of the Toyota Corolla, traced through market footage, revealed fibers matching Aisha's clothing as per Somaliland Standard. The remaining 7 detainees were released on March 10 after DNA exclusion. By March 15, the investigation compiled a 200-page dossier. According to Horst Media, it included 35 witness statements, DNA reports, and vehicle logs. Puntland's Attorney General reviewed the file on March 20, approving charges against the 3. The case was transferred to Nugal Regional Court in Garowe for trial. The Nugal Regional Court in Garowe received the file on April 10, assigning Judge Ahmed Osman to preside over the proceedings. According to Garo Online, the trial commenced on May 15, 2019, with the 3 accused brought in under heavy guard from Galkayo, a 300-kilometer journey that took 8 hours. The courtroom, a modest concrete room with wooden benches, filled with 50 observers, including local journalists and women's rights advocates. The prosecution, led by State Attorney Fatima Hassan, opened with a 45-minute presentation, reading the 200-page dossier aloud to establish the chain of evidence. The first day focused on the charges: rape, murder, and kidnapping under Puntland Penal Code sections 404, 409, and 413. On May 23, at 11:00 a.m., he delivered the verdict: all three guilty on all counts. "The DNA is the voice of truth," he said, sentencing Abdi Fattah and Abdishakur to death by firing squad, Abdi Salam to life imprisonment. 7 other detainees were acquitted due to negative DNA. The courtroom erupted in murmurs, but security maintained order. The immediate aftermath saw spontaneous demonstrations erupt across Puntland, with women in Galkayo marching on February 12, 2019, just days after the body was found, demanding stricter enforcement of the Sexual Offences Act, passed in 2016. These protests, numbering in the hundreds, spread to Mogadishu and Garowe by mid-March, where participants carried signs reading "End the Silence on Rape" and called for the law's full implementation, a direct response to the impunity that had allowed similar assaults to go unchecked. The case's impact rippled through civil society, prompting organizations like the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, to issue a public condemnation on February 26, 2019, urging authorities to prioritize swift investigations and uphold the sexual offenses law, which criminalizes all forms of sexual violence in Puntland. UNFPA's statement highlighted how Aisha's death exemplified the systemic failures in addressing rape, where underreporting due to stigma affected thousands of cases annually. In the weeks following, women's groups in Puntland formed coalitions, leading to the establishment of community watch programs in markets like the one where Aisha was taken. According to Human Rights Watch, HRW, these initiatives trained over 500 volunteers by June 2019 to monitor public spaces and report suspicious activity, a grassroots shift aimed at preventing abductions. Public outrage translated into policy pressure. According to The Elephant, Aisha's murder became a catalyst for Somalia's unto Me Too-like moment, with social media campaigns under hashtags like Justice for Aisha gaining traction on platforms such as Twitter, now X, where users shared stories of unreported assaults and demanded reforms. According to HRW, Aisha's case serves as a stark reminder that awareness alone isn't enough. Sustained reforms in reporting, prosecution, and cultural norms are essential to protect girls from violence that too often goes unpunished. To spread awareness, remember, cases like Aisha's highlight the urgent need for global support in regions where GBV thrives in silence. Share this story, advocate for stronger laws, and support organizations fighting for change. And if this video resonated with you, hit subscribe for more stories that demand attention. We're in this together to ensure no child suffers in the shadows.